I wake up every morning
So do I.
and I wonder, which identity am I going to be killed for today?
Considering the fact that you live in America, probably neither is the answer.
You have Donald Trump tweeting, LGBT people, I'm here to protect you. But at the same time, he also says in the same tweet, we're going to protect you from the people trying to kill you. So one part of me, he wants to protect and fight for me, but on the other side, he wants to ban me.
Uh-oh, retard alert!
That's only the case if you want to kill yourself. And Trump only said that he'll fight for you. You made it more complex than what it really was.
Where does that leave LGBT Muslim?
Okay, but more seriously, let's take into consideration the fact that someone may be LGBTQAIAAP yada 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 and a Muslim. I would argue that it is possible, just doesn't make sense. The same way I would argue that being a Jew Nazi or a black KKK member doesn't make sense. And that's not a hyperbole, actually. Islam wants gay people dead. It's pretty clear about it. And we should admit that. Now, you can be a Muslim, you can like the poetry, and you can like the culture. You can be culturally Muslim, if that makes sense. And be gay. It's fine. You live in a free country. But that doesn't change the fact that from a strict, literal interpretation of Islam, judging by the life of Muhammad, being gay and being Muslim isn't considered to be fine. So you have the right to be gay and the right to follow the religion of Islam. However, you should know that you're a dumbass for doing so.
Basically, it feels like my identities are being used against each other.
If you believe in the Quran, if you believe in the Hadith, or if you believe in the life of Muhammad, your identities are at war with each other, not just against each other. And the Muslim part is not even trying to hide it. It's putting it right out there. And you should receive that signal.
We get heckled, we get harassed by NYPD.
Who the fuck is this we you're talking about? If you mean Muslims, I'm sure that for every one Muslim that gets harassed by the NYPD, there are many more who don't.
We not just as queer people who look different or, gender non-conforming or trans, but also we get harassed and surveyed because we're Muslim.
Really? Name me one bill, one legislation that allows the NSA, the NYPD, any law enforcement agency to spy on you simply because you're a Muslim. I'm waiting.
2,000 years later.
Yeah, no answer. Let's move on.
I think the term radical Islam is a term that's overused, but I also feel like it's a term that could be applied to any religion, any community.
Uh-oh, retard alert!
No, it actually can't. If we take the last word out of the term radical Islam, that should be the indicator telling you that it can be applied to any other religion. Just like evangelical Christianity cannot be applied to Islam. Wow, this guy's an idiot.
What do they mean when they say radical Islamism? Who do they mean?
Very, very simple. Islamism is an ideology where the religion of Islam is enforced through state action. And anyone who believes in that ideology is an Islamist.
They're using this term to kind of comfort people in America that, look, we know what it is. It's radical Islamism and we need to kill it and we need to survey them and we need to deport them.
Pretty good ideas if you ask me, especially the last one. If I was an American, I wouldn't want to live with people who believe that Sharia law should be held above the US Constitution.
When people use radical Islam, it just feels like the boogeyman.
Nope, it's right out there. We can see it. And we're being affected by it.
Being transgender in this day and time is rough, especially with everything going on. And being Muslim is also.
No, not really. Considering the fact that you're in the US, the only rough points you'll have is when people disagree with you. That's it. There's no political movement out to get you.
But I wouldn't trade it for the real.
Something tells me that if you were a gay person in Syria or Iraq, you would trade it. But how would I know? Gay people being thrown off roofs there.
I wouldn't trade it for the real.
Not a great indication. And the 10 Muslim countries that sanction executions against gay people.
I wouldn't trade it for the real.
Nah, doesn't relate to it. Yeah, you shouldn't trade it for the world.
I hope that after this tragedy that we have a more meaningful conversation about how we can move forward, not just as separate communities, but as people who live in this country, as people who want the best for humanity.
Hard work, hard do. I actually agree with what this guy said at the end. We should be looking toward so-called moderate Muslims, or these people who I know as who don't want Islamism to be the way the governments run. So in that sense, yeah, I would want to see a united debate on addressing what is popularly known as radical Islam, but which I just consider to be Muhammad's version of Islam. Just a message to end this video off. This is a perfect example of how the oppression Olympics blends in with identity politics. These people, they consider themselves to be LGBTQ, AAPP, fuck my life. And they also consider they are Muslims. So now they have this view that both groups are being oppressed in America. And so what do? They start acting like victims. While in reality, they're not addressing the fact that their religion hates them. They're not engaging in the war of ideas. And this translates to a lot of the conflicts started by the left, and I'm being clear, the left, of where we see these examples of oppression Olympics everywhere in college campuses to, mainstream America. And this kind of identity politics blended in with the oppression Olympics has to be defeated. Thank you.